didn't have these bad boys. It was actually alright for me. Sort your technique out, hun. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're having a beautiful day and that you're staying safe and that you guys are happy and well at the moment. So today's video is, it's a swimming related video, and the thing is, I feel like I've not posted a lot of swimming related videos on my channel recently because, I mean, it's obvious, we're not in the pool. But also, I feel like just in general, I don't post as much swimming content as I would like. So today I thought it would be cool to react to one of my races from when I was 13. Now, courtesy of my mum's YouTube channel, where there are many videos from my younger self racing, I've managed to find my age groups, Cumbria age groups, 2013 800 freestyle. And I'm really not sure which one I am. I think I'm lane 4, but yeah, I've got a stopwatch. This is gonna be my live reaction, and we're just gonna see what happens. I'm the person in lane 4 because 1, I'm ridiculously pale. 2, I'm wearing a pink suit, which was in fact, I actually recognize quite a few of these people. So, I mean, lane 6 was someone who was in my team at the time, Zara McKnight. Lane 3, I think, is Laura. I think that's Laura. And lane 1, Laura was also in my team, and in lane 1, she was also in my team. So it was a very Carlisle heavy race this. There was only someone from Cockermouth and someone from Copeland, and I think this was the final heat as well, if I remember rightly. So this was at my very first club, and this was just before I moved to Dumfries. So if you've not watched my swimming journey, you don't know what I'm talking about, go and watch it and then come back to this video because I'll probably reference a lot of my swimming journey through that. So this was my OG training pool. This was where I grew up training. This was the very first club that I was at. As you can see, it's not the nicest pool. They have new blocks now. They have, I mean, not much has changed really, let's be real. But anyway, let's get cracking. Oh, that camera content.
What is it, Herb? Is she not doing it? No, next seat. What's up?
Can we just appreciate the way that I'm stood? Now, I'm not being funny, I don't exactly look very confident. I look very much like in the zone, but the way I'm stood, the body language, it's not that confident considering this was my main event. Like, 800 free was my jam, and I'm kind of interested to see how this plays out actually. I don't really know where I just pointed. I'm guessing that's the side that the lap card was going to be on. Gosh, I look so tall compared to everybody. So, I look ridiculously tall compared to everybody else because I've basically been 5'10" since I was like 12. Now, the one thing I'm going to say is I look really, really thin just because I grew so quickly. So I never had an issue with food, and a lot of people used to say I looked anorexic. Now, I was never anorexic. In fact, I used to stuff my face so much. I just struggled to put on muscle because I'd grown so quickly. And because I'd grown so quickly, all of the food that I was putting in my body went towards growing up rather than growing out. So I didn't have these bad boys, not that they're big anyway, but I didn't have any muscle really. I mean, I had muscle because I wouldn't have been able to swim if I didn't have muscle, but I didn't have like strong looking muscle. What? Can we just replay that dive? First of all, the reaction time, I was last in the water. And second of all, it was like, oh my goodness, that was awful. Oh, I mean, I'd love to say that my dives are like amazing now. I mean, really, they're not, but they are 100 times better than that. Oh, this is... For an 800 freestyle, this stroke rate's quite high for me. So that was just a stroke rate of 1.5. So basically stroke rate, for people who don't know, I'm kind of taking it every time my right hand enters and then my right hand enters again, just the old-fashioned way, just because it's easier. But that's actually quite a high stroke rate for me, and it's actually quite straight-armed, which I'm quite surprised at, because when I was younger I used to have really nice bent-elbowed freestyle, like beautiful technique, and this is quite scrappy, I'm not gonna lie. So I just went out in a 32, why is that blurry? So I just went out in a 32.3, which, I'm not gonna lie, like, that's alright for a 13-year-old to be going out in a 32.3 and an 800 free, like, that's pretty rapid. So I'm, like, interested to see how this pans out, because I have a feeling I'm gonna die.
32, 83. You're doing splits, Michelle, Belinda. Yeah. Shouted that so she can hear it. You're doing the splits, Michelle, Belinda.
So, thanks to the parents giving me a commentary of the timing, because I can't see the times, it means I don't have to actually time it. But 109 for 100 free, so that was a 32 and then a 37. That's a big gap. Now, if I was racing it now, I would probably go off in a 32 and then back it up with a 34. If I was fit, obviously. But to go out in a 32, like, what was I doing? So there was a massive rivalry between the girls at Carlisle when I was there, and I was always seen as the, like, worst of this heat. So for me to be in lane 4, which is like the second fastest lane on paper, was interesting, and maybe that's why I looked so nervous at the start, but that was ridiculous. Like, that first 100 was ridiculous. Like, there is no tactics behind that at all. I would say it's quite scrappy for me as well, and yeah, I mean, let's just carry on watching. So that stroke rate's already dropped down to a 1.6, 1.7. So I would be interested to, like, sit and work out the, like, physical biomechanics behind it, because, and work out, like, the stroke count and distance per stroke and stuff, because that's quite a fast stroke rate for me at that age especially, and I wouldn't be surprised if I was slipping quite a lot of water. So that turn, let's just talk about the turn, because it was actually alright for me. Now, I got to 5 meters, and on an 800, like, that's all you want, really. I'm impressed. So now you can see that my right arm, I'm breathing to the left, and my right arm is beautifully bent. My left arm's a little bit straight, which I would want to change if I was my old coach. Like, if I was coaching my younger self, I would want to change that left arm, just because of how straight it is compared to how bent it is. And, like, that's fine for, like, a 200, 100 free, but for an 800 free, like, come on, sort your technique out, hun. technique. So that right arm is beautifully bent and it's beautifully sliding into the water. If you look at my left arm, it's very, very slappy. I don't like that. Just sort that out. Come on. One thing I do want to say is the fact that I'm not really kicking my legs, and I still do that now. Like, I don't kick my legs very much, and that's why I'm very good at distance freestyle and open water, because I don't need them. Like, I've got a wetsuit on, so I don't need to kick my legs. Like, they're just there for like the little bit extra propulsion. But clearly as a kid, like when you look at the girl closest to us, her kick is going so much, and she was a breaststroker. So I think that just shows the difference between strokes, but also the difference between like main events. So that was 2:24.14. Now, I did the 100 in 1:09. That's a big drop, but it's kind of more even. So 2:24.109 would be 1:15. So that's around about 37s. So that's basically balanced pace now. So I've obviously held the 37s range. Not too sure why I went off in 32, but let's just choose to like not look at that. So clearly, like, I was always very good at holding a pace, and that wasn't like deliberate, that was just me. I was very good at holding a pace. Like, what I would do on the second 50 would be what I would do for the rest of the race. So if you look at my stroke, it's very hoppy, and I think that's because I'm breathing to one side. I wouldn't necessarily do that, just because it tends to make your stroke very unbalanced. And I mean, you can tell that from the way I'm swimming. Like, it's very bouncy. It's like kind of thing. I'm not sure what that was, but you could actually see down that length. I did have a really nice high elbow in that catch, like just from the angle. Like, it's quite good that I'm in lane 4 because you can actually see it really well. I did have a nice high elbow in my catch, which was nice, but those strokes are very short. And considering I've had 6-foot arm span probably since around about then, like, come on Sophie, you've got bigger arms than that, you can use that to your advantage. And I'm actually going to count my strokes on the next length, just out of interest. Okay, what happened to the lighting? 19 strokes in a length. Come on, Sophie. Like, what are you doing? You could easily shorten that down. Also, I breathed out the turn. Just, come on, sort it out, hun.
this, you know, he's waved that actually when the splits are just slightly behind what you're giving him.
Are you looking at it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. So in fairness, he's done as he's been told by Sophie. Because Sophie said to him, well, you're cheering us on with full behind on the splits.
That's quite interesting. I had no idea about that. So I'd obviously said to my dad that I was basically going to say to whoever my coach was here that if my splits drop, wave at me. And this was something that I used to quite like to do because I was very consistent with pacing. I was very knowledgeable from a very young age what pace I needed to go for what time. And I've just been very swim smart all my life, and so clearly I'd said to whoever was the coach on poolside, wave me on when if my splits drop. So clearly it was very much me telling my coach the way it was. And I think that's quite impressive from a young age. That kind of shows quite a lot of maturity, I think. And if I said that now to Charlie, if when I go to a race, I say to Charlie, right, I'm going to do this, this and this, and I want to do this. If I said to him that at 13, I think he would be pretty impressed. That's quite impressive to be so self-sufficient from such a young age. I'm kind of proud of younger Sophie.
Schedule, but she needs to pick it up a little bit just to be on the safe side.
It's Graham. So Graham was my childhood coach. I absolutely loved him to pieces, God rest his soul. So Graham sadly died, gosh, it would be 2 years ago now, of cancer, and he was just such an incredible person. So he wasn't paid at all. He was very old-fashioned, and that's probably why we got on so well. He was a science teacher, so he knew a lot about the body and the way that it was, and he was just such a big influence on me.
That's Sophie!
Okay, so that 50 was a 37 again. Fairly consistent. Love my dad's commentary on that. It's a bit comfy. Like, come on, Gary, you get in. Honestly, love the commentary on this.
It's okay. She's in. 2 seconds and she needs to find one, so...
You're pink.
I don't know.
Something your dad's pink.
Like your costume. Wouldn't do it for suffer from high blood pressure, would it?
I'm quite interested to see like what I was going for. 9:55:41 for a 13-year-old, like that's all right. I'd take that. Like 9:55:41, and clearly I was chasing 9:54. I'm not sure why, what meet that was for. Maybe it was for Scottish. I don't know. My dad's just said there I had another chance to get it, and that was a PB. So that's a good swim for me. The one thing I'd say, technically it was sustained, like this technique was sustained the whole way. But what I would say is my breathing out the turns, that needs to go. Breathing pattern needs to get sorted. And just the whole like, I wouldn't say the technique in the upper body, but the distance per stroke could be a lot better, especially from someone that tall. Like 19 strokes in a length, like, come on Sophie, sort it out. But you know what, for 13 years old, I'd take that. Like, that's all right, I'd take that. Yeah, it was really nostalgic to kind of watch that back. Quite interesting, especially given the fact that that was very much my main event and probably still is, probably more than 15, but like not much has changed since then, but also a lot has changed just in me as a person and also me as an athlete. Like, yes, I obviously was very like clued up on swimming then, but I was never as disciplined, let's say, as what I am now, because I think it takes a lot of growing up. Like, I would never have expected a 13-year-old to be telling their coach, look, this is my game plan. But do you know what, fair play to me, because that's solid effort. And it's so kind of, it makes me a little bit emotional actually just seeing Graham, because he was such a lovely man. Oh, I'm gonna cry. He was just such a lovely man, and it's such a shame that he was taken from this earth so early. And like, he gave so much to the club voluntarily. I had so much fun going back down memory lane. I would love to hear your response to this video. I would love to start putting out a little bit more swimming content on my channel, just because like it is my heart and soul really. So yeah, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Click the subscribe button to join the family if you haven't already. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Click the notification bell to be notified every time I post a video. There is probably going to be an extra one this week, so keep your eyes peeled. It will be an anti-MLM video. I love you guys so much. Bye!